Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how this resonates with your circumstances. So, chosen, first of all, I wanted to talk to you all about this test that's coming in, okay? There's a test that's coming in, and so it's very important for you to check yourself. Now, I want to tell you all about a personal situation that I had happen yesterday. Very unexpected, of course. So my children tend to play this online game called Roblox, and some of you might be familiar with it if you have children. And so I received notifications yesterday, and the notification said that $800 had been taken out of my account. Now, of course, I had to do some investigating, and I found out it was, my children had been purchasing Robux, but obviously they don't really have a full understanding of dollar amounts. I'm talking about like my 6-year old, my 5-year old. They knew they was getting it in though. They knew they was having a good time with all those extra bucks, but they didn't really have an understanding of what they were doing. However, when I first discovered that $800 had been taken out of my account, of course, I had to really reel it in. Now, of course, I was disappointed. My voice went up a few octaves. And I had to pray to the Most High and ask the Most High, how can I deal with this situation in a way where it's fair, it's balanced, and I don't create karma for myself, right? Because I'm all about what energy am I projecting? Whatever you put out there, it does come back to you, and you have to consider what's fair and what's not fair. We're talking about children here. Now, if it was a grown person that has an understanding of money, oh, the situation might have been a little different. But even then, we have to check ourselves, because one of the greatest things that could get a person off of their square is this fiat. Something about that fiat that'll get a person like you'll be ready to go times 1,000 when you notice that the amount of work that you put in, somehow someone snatches something from you or they take something from you and it was without your consent. I prayed about it. I tell you, I was outside with my children at the time. When we got home, I spoke to the Most High. I came into my room, closed my door, and I told them, like, look, I'm about to make these phone calls now. And if they tell me that this is from this game, y'all going to be in some trouble. So while I'm in here, I'm on the phone. It took them forever to get off, had me on hold or whatnot. And of course, they verified that it was for the game, $800 spent towards this game. So I got up after I got all my information, walked out to the front room. All 6 of my children were knocked out asleep on the living room floor. And that's just the Most High Mother and Father stepping in like, look, I'm going to give you more time to really evaluate this situation and to act from a space of compassion and fairness. So I didn't really have to punish them or even address the situation until this morning. And so I decided, to give them their little punishment or whatnot for they got their punishment, nothing outrageous, but enough for them to remember. So obviously they won't be playing Roblox for a very, very, very long time. So I say that to say, y'all have tests that's going to come through, and it's really going to be a matter of you checking yourself. You remember when you took tests in school, some of y'all might still be in school. You take exams and you want to make sure that you go back and check yourself before you press submit for that exam. Because you might make some mistakes that you could have really corrected had you just taken the time out to really think about it first. The enemy is busy right now, y'all. There are enemies out here who are watching you, and they're being very strategic on how they can play their hand because they know that abundance is coming to you. They know that you are focused on something that's going to be very, very lucrative and very abundant. And so the whole objective is to get you off of your square and to have you in defense mode constantly so that you're not able to pour your passion, your love, and that balanced energy into your creative idea. So it's very important that y'all pay attention even to the smallest of things, because even though that situation was it was pretty serious. Like, some people would say, well, shoot, when I was a child, if I would have done something like that, your whole head would have been across the room, and you'd be lucky if you get it put back on your shoulders, right? But I just thank the Most High that I don't operate from that space. You see what I'm saying? Once you awaken to the point where you understand fiat is paper, paper is trees, you can get more of that. The Most High will grant you that and plus more and more and more. If you pass the test and you realize that it's not worth going above and beyond and overreacting, like why throw yourself off in that manner? But the enemy wants you to respond in that way. The enemy wants you to do something where you're going to feel guilty about it later, and it's going to throw you off from being able to really pour into your passionate ideas. It's all about throwing off your vibration right now, chosen. So it's so important, whatever your circumstance is. It may not be the same for everybody, but just know that there's tests coming, and you really want to evaluate where are you at right now. In spite of, let's just say you take a loss. I'm not speaking that into y'all's existence. That's why I'm speaking on my own circumstance. Okay, I took what might seem like a loss in that very moment. But for me, there's no such thing as losses when it comes to fiat, because the Most High has granted me the ability to recoup that and then some and then some. And so it's like I look around me and I have everything that I need and access to much of what I want. And so do my children. And so it's like, okay, yes, my account is $800 less than what it was the day before yesterday. However, I need for nothing. And that can be replenished. And it's already being replenished as we speak. So it's like we have to really consider what response is most appropriate for the circumstance. And if it's already done, then how is your response going to actually change the narrative? If the situation, if you've already taken what seemed like that loss, then how is a over the top response going to recoup what is already gone? It won't. So we have to learn how to push forward and move forward towards our happiness and maintain our internal peace and our balance in spite of what seems like chaotic energy in a snapshot moment of your life. Because the enemy really wants you to go back to who you used to be, where you overreact over things that you can't change. And so it's like, this is the time of maintaining your balance and staying focused. Because I tell you, some jealous folks out here, they working their little cheap ass Google textbook magic. And they're trying their hardest to see how they can get you to be distracted, to see how they can throw your energy off. But the great thing is that y'all are going to pass this test. You're going to pass this test with flying colors, because the Most High is giving us hints. The Most High, you know when someone is working up against you and when they're doing spell work against you, just based on the energy. Like the energy is so palpable now because you're so much more aware spiritually and your gifts are that much more heightened that you can kind of tell when something is brewing. There's a peak that's getting ready to happen. And so you know how to balance your energy even before it comes. You best believe I've been writing, burning, and releasing and doing everything necessary in order to maintain my balance, listening to my heart chakra frequencies the entire time that I slept last night. And when I woke up this morning, I could say that my energy was in more alignment to better address the situation with my children. And so we have to learn how to maintain our balance and transmute and alchemize any and all energy. You have the authority to do so. Don't allow the illusions of this matrix to get you so caught up in a moment where you'll end up regretting it weeks from now. It's like, no, I'm going to pass this test right here. I already see what this is all about. So let me go ahead and balance my energy, come back and handle it when I'm more in alignment. And you pass it with flying colors. And now the Most High ends up giving you far more than what it seems like you lost. And that's what ends up getting your enemies. That's what messes them up the most, because now they got to deal with the boomerang effect. They got to deal with that energy coming back to them, because their desire to see you lose, it was non-effective because you didn't operate on that vibrational frequency. So you didn't get your frequency low enough for them to keep throwing them daggers and throwing that magic and throwing that spell work at you. And so now what you put out there, it doesn't just disappear. Energy it can't be destroyed. You can only transmute it, transfer it. So what's about to happen? What's not going to touch you, what can't touch you, because you're too protected and because you're passing this test, it now goes back to your enemy. So now while they thought that, oh, well, I'm going to see if I can make her take some losses over there. Now it's your loss, but it's your loss times 1,000 because I spoke that into existence already. So anticipate that to all of my enemies out there. Shout out to y'all. You know, this thing, it becomes cakewalk. This spirit, this human experience becomes cakewalk once you start to really recognize the power that you possess in the spiritual realm. The Most High Mother and Father is not going to let you dash a toe. You got a whole backing of angels that's always watching out, that's always giving you warning. You know, I've been seeing the number 1111 on like clockwork. 555. Okay, some changes is coming. All right, but it's because a new beginning is getting ready to come in. So get excited about this new beginning. But yeah, it's going to be some 555s coming through, a little bit of chaotic energy, because it's all about disrupting things, dismantling things, breaking things down, so that you can build with that solid foundation, that new clean palette with that 1111. So I don't know. It's like it gets to a place where once you evolve to a certain point as a chosen seed and you start to learn about energy and you understand how to transmute and how to become the alchemist of your life, it's like it doesn't even make sense for anyone to have the audacity to try to work up against you through spell work. It's automatically their loss. Automatically. Because you have too many gifts that's going to give you fair warning, and you have too many gifts that's going to give you an understanding of how to transmute the energy, and you have too many gifts that's going to give you an understanding of how to repel it and send it all the way back. Your spiritual team is working in overtime, constantly communicating with you. And when you have that gift of communicating directly with your spiritual team, you will not miss a beat. You'll always be 10 steps ahead of your enemy. So check yourself out there, y'all, so that you can get an A+ on this test. That's my message for you all. Leave a comment if you find that it resonates with you. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all next time.